Some of y'all that's just popping up in the morning still coming in. So I feel like they're gonna be coming in all morning. So let me
Okay.
turn the buzzer off
All right.
so we won't be
Hey,
disturbed.
Shanae. Hey, everybody.
Uh-huh. All right. And then let me formally introduce you. So if y'all don't know, of course y'all know who I am. But if y'all don't know, this is D. D has been beat life with us, y'all, since this summer, but it feels like longer because she came to the conference with us. Listen, she jammed out. I don't know if y'all know it, but D can dance. If y'all watch the end of them where them plats at video, D was out there getting it. I said, listen, D been down there in Mexico, baby. She done picked up a couple moves. You get what I'm saying? But she is a shining light, y'all, and just really has a great heart as well. Just a really powerful people person. But she has been able to be extremely successful when it comes to investments. So a lot of that pathway that like I talk about, leveraging your job, you get what I'm saying, and then getting into business, that's a part of D's journey. D took money from her job, made sure she had a solid budget, and started investing, and did so well that I think the last these 6 7 years,
It'll be
uh,
7 in January.
7 years she has lived off of her investment. So y'all know a big thing that I say. And I say this to her, I know more people who've accumulated wealth from investing than I know businesses. Now, don't get it twisted. You want to still have your business, that's ownership, and ownership also is included in wealth. But I know more people who, when I start counting their dollars and they start talking, the bigger thing they got in common is, hey man, I work them stocks. You get what I'm saying? Um, and it is a thing that it can be confusing. So I'm so glad to have a trustworthy voice here with a good kind heart. She got some stories I want her to tell when it comes to her content. And this is not just only us supporting her, but y'all being able to be introduced to her so that you can know, hey, Matt said this is the go-to as he getting you some money. Listen, take some of that money that I'm helping you get and go move it over there. And so D can tell you where to put it at. But I'm gonna get on out the way. And D, I'm gonna let you hop right into it and start talking to us about these investments. Y'all give it up for D.
All right. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Matt. Um, some of you guys are familiar with me and some are not, right? And I just want to introduce who I am. I am D. Watkins. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner, right? I am originally from Chicago. I used to work for AT&T. I put in 30 years with them. And am I doing this? Okay. More people are coming in. I put in 30 years with AT&T. I started in where I'm from, Chicago, and then eventually moved down to Atlanta, where I am right now. Um, I go between Atlanta and Mexico. Matt mentioned that earlier. I live in both places, right? Mostly in Mexico. I am people, Matt kind of alluded to this a little bit. I have been retired in January. It'll be 7 years at the end of January. And so that means I do not have a income coming in, right? The money that I've lived off of for the past 7 years is my savings and investments, right? I don't have continuous income like you guys if you work or if you have a business bringing in money like that. The reason I was able to do that is because I invested, right? I don't want you guys to think that I came from money because I did not. All right. I came from the west and south side of Chicago. When I first started with AT&T, I was a 411 operator. I hope the younger people understand what that is. People used to have to call and say, "Give me the number to such and such." I used to do that, but I did that for 6 months until I didn't have to, and I moved on to being a technician. From there, I became an engineer and built myself up. The point I'm telling you about this is I started with $222 a week as an operator. All right. That's not any money, and that's before taxes, just so you know. Um, my mother, I lost my father early. My mother raised the kids, with the money she had and doing odd jobs and stuff like that. So again, investing was not something that was around me. We did not talk about money. If we did, we talked about the lack of it. right? We didn't have money. Sometimes we didn't even have gas, right? But that is what propelled me to decide I don't want to live like that anymore. Right? I did not. And right now, certain things trigger me. I don't want to feel like I'm going to lose. I don't, not lose, be without. That's the thing. Come on, that's right, them Bell companies. Did you work for one? All right. I'm sorry, Lucia just said she was I guess in South Central Bell, Bell South, Southern Bell, and AT&T. I retired in Atlanta, but I moved down with 3 years left prior to me leaving. Now, let me explain something to you. Most of you guys might think that retirement is age 62 or 67. I am not either of those. I retired early at the age of 49. And again, I was able to do that because I put my money away, little small amounts of money. Right? Small amounts of money is what allowed me to be able to retire and not have to work again if I don't want to. Um, I want that for you guys. Matt mentioned he watches EYL, right? Earn Your Leisure, right? Or Market Mondays or whatever they do. I hope you guys understand the administration that we have right now. I'm not going to get all political, but I will say that if you have not noticed, they are business friendly, big business friendly. And when an administration is big business friendly, they are going to allow businesses to grow and do what they need to do to make money. A business's main goal is to make money for their shareholders. A shareholder is a stock owner, a person that has stock in that company. I want to know from you guys, how many of you guys are investors? Can you, I want to see y'all. All right, no, nobody's off thing. If you can, drop it in this chat. I want to know how many of you guys are actually investors. All right, with the dabbling. Come on, Jasmine. All right, Vanessa. Yeah, Matt, of course, you investing. Um, Not me. I want to get started. I'm glad to hear that. Very small. That's okay if you're doing it very small. As long as you're doing it, we're gonna do it a little more. We ain't doing no pinches no more. We're gonna do a little more. I'm investing a little, a little, a little. Okay. Only through fidelity on my job. All right, Giovanna. I'm glad to see you say that because that's what I was going to say to you guys. If you have a some type of retirement account, you're already investing. But let me say this. If someone in here didn't say they were investing, I'm going to tell you you are. You're already investing because anytime you put your money towards something, you are investing, right? You guys, I'm sorry, let me stop saying this. I don't want to say you guys like this. And I need you to understand something. I was an engineer. I had 6'4" big dudes that I had to tell what to do right now and get it done. And so I speak very plainly. I don't, when we get into this a little later on, I don't want you to think I'm not picking on anyone. I'm just trying to help. Okay. So the way I deliver things is a little more direct than I'm not as soft as I should be in my delivery, but I'm always trying to help. Okay. You want to learn. That's great. And you got two brokerage accounts, Webull and Charles Schwab. You got those brokerage accounts, so I hope you got some in them. Don't worry about that. We're gonna talk about it. So now you guys know a little bit about who I am. All right. Um, and the way that I'm qualified to tell you this is because I've done it. I'm not somebody just gonna tell you something, or I read about this, you could do it. No, no, I don't have to work ever if I don't want to. All right, ever. Now, give me a minute. I'm going to pull up a presentation a little bit. That's okay, a little bit. You're going to have a little bit more, hopefully soon. And again, I want to speak about the coming years, right? We just saw an administration that was cool with y'all not having food. And I say y'all, people not having food, right? We just saw an administration that come this in January, some people are no longer going to be able to have health care. So if the government is not going to save you to give you food or to provide you good health, you need to be able to provide that for yourself. And the way you do it is through investing your money. Okay. I not only invest in the stock market, I actually invest in real estate. I'm not talking about real estate, but what I am telling you is that I put my money into things that grow in value for me, right? Most of us are consumers, right? What that means is we go by the brand. I want you to buy the company. All right. So hang in there. I will end up getting myself off track. So I got a presentation here. I'm gonna pull that up and I'm gonna check my notes every now and then so I make sure I'm staying on track. Give me a minute. While we're doing this, can you guys let me know why you have not either why you have not invested or why you don't do it more, right? And give me a minute. I'm pulling up this thing right now, so it's gonna take me a bit, and I'm gonna get back to the comments in just a second. Okay, this is for me. Yep. And one second, I'm almost there. And I need to move you guys up here so I can see this here. Brianna. All right. For the people that just came in, welcome. I'm Dee Watkins. If you're not familiar with me, we have more folks coming. And I just lost my presentation, so that's that one. I got multiple screens here, so give me a minute to find where I am. Okay. Now I gotta find Zoom. Can you guys let me know what you see? Oh, you don't see anything right now. So I need to share this screen, I think. Can you guys let me know what you see in the
We see
chat?
the presentation now. Yep.
Yes? All right, great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anything on the side?
It just show us the slide deck in Canva.
Okay, thank you so much. And then I'll put this down here to give me a little hint. All right. So now for the people again, for all of you, right? This is a very basic class. And what I also should have mentioned is that I work with people individually, right? People come to me and I go through their, savings, investments, all those kind of things. But that is an individual look at them and giving them a plan. Or giving them hints. I don't give you an exact plan about what to do going forward with their investments. All right. But what I also do is I teach people how to invest, right? My company is called Brown Girls Invest Too because I am a brown girl that invests as well, right? So that is why I started this company to be able to help Black and brown people. And I don't just help Black and brown people, but that's my purview, right? I will help anyone that is willing to learn, right? Um, and so my goal is to help people build their wealth by investing in the stock market. So if you are not currently investing or if you want to learn how to do it better, we're going to go through a few steps to get you started if you haven't. And hopefully later we can work together to get you investing better. So if you have not made your first investment, the object of this is for you obviously to be able to do that. I want you to be able to take care of your families, not and yourself, not waiting on somebody else to help you do it. Um, if you work, if you have a job, you run up to your job and say, what do you guys want me to do for the next 2 weeks? They say, do this, that, and the third. You do that, then they pay you. Okay. And then you go back up there again and ask them, what do you want me to do this week? And then they pay you again, right? At some point, and we've seen all this year, they can say, we don't need you, right? That's actually what happened to me. I told you that I retired early. What I didn't say is that when I had 29 years and 7 months, my company tried to fire my entire department. And if that had happened, I would have had no benefits. I am way smarter than that. You're not going to get almost 30 years out of me and then tell me buy without my benefits. I luckily had my money together where I can go, but I managed to stay a little longer so I could get my benefits. The benefits wasn't the thing, right? What would have what would have allowed me to go is the fact that I had been squirreling away my money. And while I was doing that, my money was growing. So when they said, we don't need your department anymore, I was like, bet, I'm out. Thank you. And I ain't worked since because I don't have to, right? I want that for you. And I'm not just talking about retirement. This can be for anything, whatever goals that you have. All right. So, and again, pardon me, I'm going to have to check my notes every now and then, and I need to move this Zoom out of the way. Oh man, I need your comments. 1 minute. I need your comments. All right, put this over here. All right. So I am happy that you guys decided to take your Saturday time to come and check out what I possibly can have to say to you, and also for what it could mean for you and your family going forward. By the end of the session, I want you to know exactly what investing is and how to get started, even if you've never invested before, right? So what you're going to learn today is why you need to invest, how investing works, and I'm going to give it to you in plain speak so you can understand it. Part of the reason people don't invest is because they think it's hard. It ain't hard, y'all, right? It doesn't have to be. Um, I want you to understand how little you need to get started. You don't need a ton of money. I told you when I started with my company, I was making $222 a week, and I put little bit of money until that little bit of money became a whole lot of money. All right. Um, there are the three steps we're going to talk as a beginner that you must take before opening up your accounts, right? I saw someone in here mention that they have Webull and Fidelity and Charles Schwab. I'm glad to hear that. I want you guys, the others, to become familiar with what a brokerage account is, all right? And the path that you need for real investing wealth, all right? And I mentioned wealth. I'm not going to say rich too often. And the reason is I don't want you rich. I want you wealthy. I'm not rich. I'm wealthy. The difference is rich is tied to things. It is tied to an income, right? So I know people, I literally know somebody makes $400,000 a year. But if you get fired, you ain't rich no more, are you? Okay. If you make $150,000, you balling out. Okay. That's cool until that company decides they don't need you, or they don't need your department, or your industry is not in favor anymore. Right. So suddenly you won't be rich. You driving around with the nice car. If they come rip that car from you, are you rich anymore? No. You want wealth. You want wealth. Wealth is tied to assets. Ain't nobody taking my properties away from me until I decide I'm ready to sell them. Ain't nobody taking my stock away from me until I decide I'm ready to sell it. That is what I mean. Okay. Um, I want you guys invested because we work hard, right? We going in every day, we working 2 and 3 jobs. I know people working 3 and 4 jobs, right? You've got to support yourself as well as your family, right? You take your money. The majority of the people in this room right now look like me, right? Our dollars are very much used as consumers, right? We have a heck of a spending dollar. I don't want you spending, I want you investing. Okay. So the companies, the brands that you own, if you got Nike, 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 Nike all up in your closet, please have some Nike in your brokerage account, right? If you've got a couple of you guys might be watching this on an Apple product, right? You might have an Apple Watch. This is not an Apple. But I appreciate all you Apple owners because I own the stock, right? I want you, if you got those ear pods and a watch and a iPad and all that kind of stuff, please own Apple, the company. They can pay you for you helping to build their company, right? You've been buying all their products, you growing their company, but are you getting any benefit from owning that company? It is very easy to do this. You will not need a lot of money. We'll talk a little bit more about that, okay? Um, Part of the reason that we need to invest, if you guys know anything, you hear inflation. Inflation means how means how much things are costing. It means they are going up in cost. We recently had a well, again, I'm trying not to be so political, but I'm not going to lie to you either, right? We've got an administration telling you that inflation is not happening, but you out there spending your money, you know that you're getting less products when you buy things, right? We also have, I'm going to say this better than what I was going to do. Um, People's debt. There was a report that came out that people are spending more money than they ever have, right? But they swiping to spend that money. Okay. So they ain't got no money. They're spending money, they future money, if they get that future money. Debt is increasing, right? You need to be able to keep up with the cost of how much things are moving up, and you need to be able to keep up with the debt that you may or may not be accumulating, right? The rate of inflation right now is at 3%. If you've got a savings account, the average savings account gives you 0.61%, right? 0.61% ain't never gonna outpace 3%, a full 3%. It's never gonna do that. So the way you do it is by putting your money into things that grow in value, investing, right? The stock market on average gives you 10%, right? So obviously, if you have your if things are costing more by 3% and you're making 10%, you're at least beating the rate of inflation. That's what I want you to do. You're never going to be able to save your way to being wealthy. It will not happen. It's mathematically it won't happen. All right. Pardon me one second because I lost your comments. I need to. I don't want to miss comments while I'm doing this, so I need to get these back. And I don't know how. Hold on a minute. If I make this bigger, there we go. And then if I put it over here, all right, I'm missing stuff. Hang on. And I don't want to miss your comments. If you guys want to be better with the learning charts and trends, Trisha, you trying to get in there, huh? Okay. Trisha says she wants to get better with learning charts and trends for now and high yield savings accounts, I guess. And what else do we have here? Now, for the way I'm teaching you, you don't have to know charts and trends, right? What you need to know is the right things to buy. Yes, groceries are more expensive, right? Don't let nobody tell you that they're not growing, then those prices are not moving up because they absolutely are. The woman that comes out with the numbers was fired for giving the numbers out properly. And the last couple months, we are kind of a little shaky about what's true and what's not. So, what you need to make sure for yourself is that you know your personal economy is doing well. And the way you do that, again, is through investing. All right, hang on. I'm catching up with comments and I'm going to get back to what I was saying here. Yep, 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 yep. Because if, all right, there. All right. So some people were telling me why they have not invested already. I'm going to just go through a few of these. Lack of knowledge and confidence in being able to do it. You don't know what to invest in. You're a part owner of an investment club, part owner in an investment club. All right. And you're retired now. That's great. Investment clubs really kind of Mm. I'm glad to hear you're doing it. As long as everyone in that investment club is contributing, bringing information, and has their eye on what needs to be invested in, right? That's great. That's a great way to teach and learn within a group setting. Need more knowledge to do it effectively. That's what I do here. That's what I teach. And you don't know enough about it, right? Okay, Ramona, you're gonna know a little bit more before you leave here. And because it feels like a gamble. All right, let's talk about the gambling. Um, and actually, and I'm not gonna ask you to come off. I think it is more of a gamble when people don't invest, right? So say you decide I'm just gonna save my money, right? I just told you that savings accounts only give you 0.61%. That is not even a full percentage point. right? If you decide, well, I'm gonna just make my money and I'm gonna put it in the drawer. I'm gonna put it in the drawer, put it in the drawer, put it in the drawer. Booney coming over next week, right? Some of that money might get stolen. You might your house may catch on fire. There may be a flood. You can lose money by storing money in your home. Okay, it's not going to make enough in a savings account to keep up with the rate of inflation. Right, that's the other thing. The third thing is if your money, because we know inflation is happening, meaning the cost of things is constantly going up, the value of your money is going down. So it is a gamble to not invest, right? I can go in any one of y'all house. I promise you right now, and I'm gonna find Procter and Gamble. I'm gonna find Johnson and Johnson, Apple, Nike, Home. I know that you've been to Home Depot, Lowe's, all those kinds of companies. Those companies are long-standing companies. I should have mostly mentioned Procter and Gamble and Johnson and Johnson. You can't take a bath without those companies. Those companies have been around since the 1800s, okay? And if a company been around since the 1800s, it's a good chance they're not going out of business no time soon, right? So where is the gamble in investing in things that you know and that you use? Jamia, do me a favor and put in the chat some companies that you use right now. Tell me, do you have an Apple phone? Do you have Nike? Do you shop at Home Depot? Do you have any bath products? Do you take Tylenol? Any of those questions. Do you use Tide or Gain? Right? If you do any of that, Tide and Gain, that's Procter and Gamble. Again, those are companies not going out of business. Okay. And so you invest in companies that you know you use and people around you use. Okay. I'm not telling you to invest individually, but I want you to understand um, that it's not a gamble to invest in a company that's been here for 18 since the 1800s. All right. Of course, the value of the stock will go up, it'll go down, it'll go up, it'll go down. But ultimately, it goes up, and I'm going to show you that later, right? Um, Hang on. I think I missed something. All right. Uh, Now, so some of the companies I mentioned, you guys put in the chat, let me know, do you use any of those companies that I named? Also, for these women in here, are y'all, going to Ulta or what's the other one? So Sephora, right? Are you using Fenty, right? You use those companies. Own the company. Don't buy the products, own the company, right? Almost all of them. So again, if you know that these are companies that not only you use, your mama didn't use them, your grandma, all of them, okay? These companies are not going out of business, right? Obviously, there can be some companies that will fail, but the long-standing companies, you understand that these are products and services that you continue to use. These are products and services that they will continue to have to produce and remain as a viable company to be able to do that. All right. So you're a consumer of all of them. You ready to own all of them? We can do that. All right. Now, again, I didn't put these things in my way. I got too much stuff open here. Hang on. All right. I'm going to put my comments here. And pardon me for talking through this, guys. All right. Um, I don't want you guys only being consumers, meaning that you're only spending your money on these things and not owning the companies, right? Um, we are the backbone of our families, right? And our communities and often in our workplaces, right? So we work, we hustle, we spend billions of dollars on the companies that I name. And so those companies continue to grow. When you see people that are rich or wealthy, you better know that they're wealthy because they own these companies. I want you to be one of the people to own these companies as well. All right. So now, when you start to invest, you need to understand why you're investing. And actually, I should have Some of you guys may have this and some don't. I should have put this in the, oh goodness, I done lost it. I'm going to put in here, there's a workbook that goes with what I'm speaking on. And in that workbook is a place for you to kind of jot down some things for yourself. I won't interrupt now. I'll just send it to you later. Or maybe I should just grab it now. What do you think? Hang on. It's going to be this one. Where's the workbook? It's going to be this one, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to drop this in the chat if I can, right here. Control V. There. That's free. Don't worry about it. It's on Beacons right now. Um, so in there, there's a prompt that asks you, what's your why, right? So you have to understand why you're doing this. What do you want to invest for, right? So do you want to be able to retire early? Do you want to go on that vacation? Do you want to send your child to football camp or to college, right? What is it that you want that money to be able to do for you? Do you want to have to not worry about if something happens next year? And again, I'm going to keep referring back to this a little bit. 350,000 Black women left the workforce last year. I'm sorry, this year. They left the workforce between March to July because they were fired from their jobs, right? Federal government jobs. Okay. If those people, I don't know if they were investing or not. Hopefully they were. Hopefully they've got good savings to be able to float themselves until their next gig. Maybe that's a reason, right? Maybe you want to put money aside for yourself just in case. We have no idea what's going to happen. We understand that AI. It ain't all just about Chat GPT, all right? Companies are using AI to put people out of work. They're replacing people with an application. Okay? All they gotta do is pay for that application one time. They can get rid of paying you your health care, paying you your salary, right? Paying for overtime, all those things. If they can get rid of people and get that off of their books and just get an application, that's what they're gonna do. I promise you that, right? So, in the event that you do something that does not require human intervention or a lot of thinking power, there's a chance that your position can be sent off to be done by an application. Put yourself in a position where that don't matter to you one way or another. If them people tap you on your shoulder and say you gotta go, be like, all right, cool, I'm good. I got my money, I'm out, right? But if you're not in that position, what happens for you then? Don't let that be up to chance. Put yourself in a position where you understand where your next money is going to come from if you need any, right? If you can go, if you can pay for the car that just broke down or whatever it is. You have to understand why you want to be able to invest. And when you understand what that why is, that's going to be the thing that makes you continue to do it. Okay. I actually was at someone's house yesterday and they had someone over there and we were just talking. The person mentioned to me that they spend a lot of their money eating out. I said, well, how much? They said they went into an app they use. They said, this month I spent $885. I swear to you, that's what he said to me. Well, okay, that's a lot for me, right? Now, I'm not going to yuck nobody young, all right? I'm not going to do that at all. And I'm not going to tell you what you want to do, what you should do with your money. All I know is that I want my money making money for me. So I said, do me a favor, tell me how much you spend on average. So he goes through and everything. And while he was doing that, I just decided to use $600. I put $600 in. I gave the average stock market return of 10%. And I said every month I'll be putting $600 in because I said on average how much he spends, right? When I came up with an $8,000 number, um, I said, come here, let me show you something. I said, you know that money you spent for food? I said, just tell me about a couple of the other months. One of the months he spent $1,100. One of the months it was like $700. I said, okay, I use an average of 600. I used less than what he gave me. Okay. And I came with an $8,000 amount he would have had. I said, how much you got in your savings? He said, I don't have any. Well, your savings must be in your belly. Okay. I don't want my money down here where I can never use it. That's going to leave my body in a couple of hours. Okay? I want my money somewhere I can see it, I can touch it, and I can do things with it to make my life better. And I want, again, you to be able to do the same thing. So now, when you figure out what your why is, why you're even doing this, that will be the thing to help you continue to do it. Continue to put your money to the side. Um, you need to know who you're doing it and what do you want to become for it. Is it for your kids? Is it for you, your spouse, whatever the case, right? Because life gonna life, right? The market done been here. Now, someone mentioned that it is a gamble. Some people think that, oh, I'm gonna lose all my money. Um, if your money is not in a place that will make it grow, yes, you will lose all your money. So that's the gamble in not doing it, right? And what life do you want to build for yourself? Do you want to worry about where your money is coming from? Do you want to worry about how you're going to be able to take care of yourself in later years? Because eventually, whatever you do, at some point, your body will not allow you to do it, or your job will not allow you to come in to do it, right? One or the other is going to happen. But as long as you have your money working for you, it ain't gonna matter what they say. What's gonna matter is what you have built for yourself. Okay, we see that things are being taken away. We see that healthcare is being taken away. They want to take away your Social Security, right? I'm supposed to get mine in 6 years. I'm not counting on that. If it come, that's great. I didn't put money in to do it. And that is not they're not paying me some handout. I put that money in there. And you did the same thing. But it's not guaranteed right now. What is guaranteed is that I don't put my money into Apple, is that I didn't put my money into whatever I put it into, and it's brought me value back and continues to pay me, right? So again, decide for yourself what you want uh, from your investing life, or what you want your investing to bring for you. So ask yourself the question, or at least answer this for yourself. I'm investing because I want you to fill in that blank for the in the next 5 to 10 years. And if you're open to sharing, put it in the comments. Let me know, right? I want to know what it is that you want to do in the next 5 to 10 years. That you need to be able your finances to be able to fund for you. Okay. I told you guys I really don't live in the States. I am here just because I'm on break a little bit. It's the holidays, right? I live in another country. Do you want to travel? Whatever the case. Do you want to be able to um, take a break from your job? Maybe take a career break for a year. Just take a break for a year. If that's something that you have that's in your purview of what you want to do, put it down, right? And if you write that thing down and you can't figure out how you're gonna pay for it, maybe you should consider investing your money at that point, right? That is going to be the thing that keeps you putting in $10, $25, 50, 100, whatever you decide, right? But that will be the thing to do it for you. And you got kids possibly that are watching you, kids that you need to be able to prepare for their future, right? You want to be able to give them an idea of how to do this, and a head start on them doing whatever they want to do for themselves in their life, right? Um, I hope that what I'm saying to you guys makes a little bit of sense. And so, again, I want to talk a little bit about what investing is. I told you earlier that you guys are investors if you are putting your money toward things, right? Again, you can invest your time, you can invest your money, right? And so if you invest your time, you can spend time with the child, right? You can spend time with your spouse or with your parent or something like that. Whatever you put your time toward, you can put your time toward learning how to do have a good crossover, whatever the case. That is investing your time, right? Because what you want to come from that is a better relationship with your children, your wife, your husband, right? That's why you invest your time, right? You invest your money in your child's tutor so that your child can now take that test and feel confident and they understand what's going on. That's investing your money, okay? When you invest your money in a company, you expect a return. You expect the value of your money to go up because I've invested in this company, right? And so I'm going to talk about just I'm going to just give you three things. There's a bunch to be invested in. I'll just give you three of the main things that I want you to consider that'll be the easiest for you to do. So what you need to understand is what a stock is. A stock is a small piece of a company, right? So companies, what they'll do is, all right, they set up shop and say, all right, I make these phones, right? And it's called an Apple phone, and I it's a smartphone, and everybody's going to have one in their hand. Most people in the U.S. are going to have one in their hand. Okay, and so I've invested in the research and development of the apps in here and the what this thing can do. And so now I got all this extra money. So I need people, you guys, to help me build my company. All right. Apple at one point in time was a little piece of crap company that did nobody know nothing about. But now it's in pretty much all of y'all hands right now. Okay. Procter and Gamble, again, 1800s. Johnson and Johnson, 1800s. Those companies no longer need to build their company, right? Those are mature companies. Now they say, okay, well, I got this money, I can just pay the shareholders. The shareholders are people that own stock in their company, right? They'll provide dividends. Again, that's a way you can be paid just by owning a share of stock, all right? It is not hard to do this. Um, some of you, I own individual companies, but I also own what I'm going to talk about next. ETFs, that's an exchange traded fund. I told you that a stock is a small piece of a company. What an ETF is a basket of a whole bunch of companies, right? So it is a way that you can own a lot of companies simply by owning the stock of one shares of one ETF stock, okay? There's also something called an index fund. Now, an index fund and an ETF, an exchange traded fund, they are kind of similar in that they are big baskets with a bunch of companies in them. The difference with an index fund is it tracks an index. You guys may have heard of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the Standard and Poor's 500. That is the top 500 largest US based companies. That's what it is. All right. And so, all right, get some more people coming in. One second. There we go. So that's the way that I want you guys to own. Now, the reason I say I want you to own it that way, what you're looking at now, this is the top 10 companies in the Standard and Poor's 500. It's only the top 10. Now, you guys may know some of these companies, you may not. I'm going to tell you. First one is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a semiconductor company. It's a chip company. If you have anything with a plug in it, right, that thing requires a chip, right? So on this list is NVIDIA, Broadcom. Oh, this thing is in my way. Okay. NVIDIA, Broadcom, and one, two, that's it. Yeah, those two are semiconductor companies, right? Anything that requires a chip is running through companies like that, or AMD or something like that. If you have a computer in front of you, right now, this computer says Intel. You ever heard of Intel Inside? That is a chip, okay? Some of your computers may have AMD on it. That's a chip. Again, Those are the type company you're using the companies all day long. If you've got a computer, you're using Microsoft, right? This Amazon just took a lot of y'all money for Christmas, sending stuff back and forth. Okay, you get on something when you tell somebody to look something up, you don't say look it up. You say Google it for me. Okay, right? I'm saying Facebook. It's Meta. Meta is on here. You use Facebook. You Google things. Some of you guys may drive a Tesla and Berkshire Hathaway. That's my uncle. I'm kidding. Anyway, um, I want you to know that these are companies you're using all the time. So you should invest in these companies. I have this list of companies here. I told you the S&P 500 is the top 500 US based companies. And so at the time that I did this slide, Nvidia was $183, Apple was 278, Microsoft 478, right? And so on down the list. If you decided you wanted to buy one share of each of these companies, you would have to spend $3,800 to be able to do that, right? I don't want you to buy the individual companies. I want you to buy the fund where you can get access to having all of these companies, right? And if I'm not mistaken, at the time, I think it was like $600. Hang on, let me see if I got it. I want you to do this for me. Right, yeah. So if you buy the fund at that time was $632 to get access to own all of those companies, but not just those 10. Remember, I told you it's 500 companies, 490 other companies. That's the way I would like you to be able to invest. And the reason I want you to invest in a fund is because if something happens with Facebook where their stock starts to go down, I don't care because Nvidia is going up. I don't care because Apple is going up, right? So they balance each other out. And I don't want you having to worry of, oh, I only own this one company. It's going down, it's going down. I don't want you owning one company. I want you to give yourself a little bit of diversity by owning a fund that has all of the best companies in it, okay? Um, and by the way, I'm just throwing this in here. If you guys, with your retirement accounts, I hope that you are not only invested in your own company. I'm gonna have to I got a lot of comments I'm missing here, and I don't want to miss stuff, right? One second. I'm gonna catch up. I'm sorry. To fund your entire life. Yes, you can do that. That's not a problem. And by the way, investing doesn't have to be for 10 years from now. It could be for next week. Okay? Whatever you decide you want those investments to be for. You like the thought of ETFs. Great. Are ETFs ran through investing companies with holds for other companies? Uh, okay, so there's something called the big, there's multiple brokerages, all right? But I'm only going to talk about the big three. The big three are Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard, okay? Fidelity is the largest because they have the most accounts under management, meaning they got more people bringing their money to them and saying, manage this for me. All right. Now, what those companies do, and it's not just those, I'm just mentioning the big three. Those will have families of funds, right? So Fidelity will have an S&P 500 fund or multiple, right? Schwab will have multiple funds that mimic the S&P 500. Vanguard will do the same. And there are other brokerages that do the same. So they will package the funds together. I'm glad you guys said this. You reminded me of something that's coming next year. They will package those things together, and that's how you can buy them. Now, the thing that I want to mention that's coming next year, excuse me, one second. Um, the administration has asked that certain things be included in funds in your retirement accounts next year. And so if you don't understand how to invest now, you're going to get screwed next year and going forward if you don't understand it. They're now asking He's now telling them that they can package more risky things in your retirement accounts. When I say retirement accounts, I mean your 401ks, your 403bs, your TSPs, your 457s, okay? And any funds. So I need you to understand what's in those things before you purchase them if you do, okay? So that's coming. Yes, thank you, Cheryl, for putting the big three in there for me. I I'm not gonna say who I prefer, but anyway. Let me see what I'm missing here. Hang on, I'm just catching up. hmm Okay, all right. I don't know what that is. CompuDump. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry if I'm messing it up. Yeah, you sold your single Apple. Now, I'm not telling anybody to sell anything or buy anything right now. Um, I own individual companies and I own funds, but I have a very large portfolio. So I own Apple outright. I own Microsoft. I own Nvidia. I'll go through this list. Um, Broadcom, Meta. I own a bunch of these companies, okay, outright. But I also have funds where those companies are within those funds as well. I suggest funds to invest, I'm sorry, to newer investors so that they're not looking at stock every day. Oh, it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up. I don't do that. Just buy yourself a fund and you can rest easy, okay? How do we access the fund? You access it through your brokerage accounts, right? You need a brokerage account. If you don't have one, I hope that you get one, or at least consider doing this. Now, I know that there's people out here that went and got Robinhood. Now, I am happy that people are investing. Uh, I want you to invest more like an adult, right? And again, I'm not knocking you or anything like that. It's just that Robinhood does not provide good research. It doesn't provide good service, right? And it doesn't have many teaching tools. I want you in a bigger brokerage, right? It doesn't cost you any more money. I just want you to have a more robust brokerage account. I prefer Fidelity. And I'm going to tell you of the big three, I prefer Fidelity first. One, because they have the largest accounts under management. It is a user-friendly portal. And by the way, I don't get paid for telling you this. All right. I'm just telling you because it's the best one, I think. All right. They have a lot more educational tools and things that can teach you along the way. Right. And a lot more resources. My next is going to be Charles Schwab. Now, um, some of you guys may know that Vanguard actually they invented exchange traded funds. So I don't mind I don't mind people holding Vanguard funds. I have Vanguard funds. The problem is their portal sucks. It is awful, right? So just because of the way their portal is built, it's not very user friendly. That's why I prefer Fidelity, Schwab, and then Vanguard. All right. Um, I don't know about the ads. I mean, they all probably doing it. Hang on. Mm, what made you nervous? Had to go take a drink after that. What happened? Wait a minute. What I miss? All right. SPAX, SPAX. It's not really a fund. That is oh my God, what's the name of it? It's a holder account. It's not a mutual fund. What is it? Money market. It's a money market account, right? So that is a holder of money for you until you invest it in something different. The SPACs, and I'm not sure about Fcash, maybe those are only giving you what a nice savings account would give you, like a high yield savings account. So if your money is sitting in that, it's a holder, so you can go and purchase other funds and other companies. All right. What's your take on interactive brokerage? All right, interactive brokerage is actually a very nice brokerage account. It is mostly used for traders and used for people internationally. So I think it's fine. It's fine. It's just not as good to me as. Oh, Dean, you're somewhere else, aren't you? It is one of the better options for people that are international. Okay. Some folks that are not in the US don't have access to having the big three. Okay. So Interactive Brokerage is actually a very nice account. You have your prior 401k under Fidelity. Ashley, tell me, you say your prior 401k. Does that mean you work for a place right now? You have a 401k with them and you still have your old 401k? Just let me know that. I'm a little concerned about something. That's fine for you to have it in Fidelity. I just don't want you to forget about a 401k. Some people work at jobs years ago and then they forget they had a 401k. I don't know how they do that, but a lot of people do it, okay? So would it be wise to close the, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not telling you to close it. I'm not, if you close your Robinhood account, that means you got to sell what's in it, right? I'm not telling you to sell anything right now. I'm just telling you that Robinhood is not a very robust brokerage, right? And so what you could do is you could, I don't want you selling stuff. You could transfer. Now, what I don't want you to do, I don't know what you have if you just bought these things. I'm talking to Chris right now. If you just bought individual things over the years. And the other reason I don't really like Robinhood is because it makes things seem like a game. People will go, "Oh, that's $5. Let me get that. That's $2. Let me get that." No, that's not good research, and that is not how you buy companies, okay? I don't want people thinking it's a game and just buying something because they think it's cheap. It may not be a good company, all right? And so that's part of the reason that I don't prefer it. You're in Turks and Caicos. All right, cool. So what if I don't know what you're holding in your Robinhood account and what type of accounts you guys have? I'm not sure if Robinhood only has cash accounts or if they actually have retirement accounts. So the reason I'm telling you this is if whatever you have in Robinhood is a retirement account, I don't want you to let it touch your hand. If you decide to sell anything, I don't want it hitting your hand because if it does, and you're under the age of 59 and a half, looks like I got questions. I'm gonna get it in a minute. If you're under the age of 59 and a half and you let that money hit your hand, you're going to get a 10% penalty. So it depends on what you hold and how you're holding it in Robinhood. Okay. So you don't just have to have one account. If you want it, you can open up another brokerage account. I'm getting off track here. So I can't get all into this. Can you open a brokerage account for kids? You absolutely can. Yeah, you absolutely can. There's certain type of accounts you can do this for, all right? Custodial accounts. And there's another name that I cannot remember right now. So again, let me get back on track, guys. Hold on. Somebody has who's this? How do I do this? Oops. Whoever had their hand up, I just lowered it by accident. Put it back up and whatever it is, come off of mute and say what your question was. Or was that from old? I'm sorry, whoever had their hand up, I don't know who it is anymore because I put it down. I'm sorry, my apologies. So if you do have a question, you can come off mute and ask. If not, I'm gonna keep going. All right.
I have a question, a quick one.
Okay, Sophia, how you doing?
Doing good. So I
Good.
looked up Schwab S&P 500 and it says 17.75. Does that sound right? Because you said 600 and I'm confused.
Okay, listen. No, okay. So I mentioned, I don't want to come out of my thing. I mentioned to you guys that families of funds, family meaning Fidelity, Schwab, uh what's that horrible Ameriprise, all these different things, those are families and they have funds, right? So you just pulled up a price of $1,775, right, for one of the funds under Schwab. They probably have more than one S&P 500 fund that they are mimicking, okay? That's one fund. This, what I pulled up, if I if I'm not mistaken, was probably, don't go run out and buy nothing I'm saying. I'm just mentioning what I pulled up. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not even gonna say it. Whatever that fund was, there's different kinds of S&P 500 funds and offered by different companies, right? So the fund that you pulled up is not the fund that I have pulled up. Why it's $1,700 is because more people put money into that fund, or at least that's the price of that fund at that time, right? So you'll have different funds, right, that mimic the S&P 500 that cost different things. That's the reason you see $1,700 on yours and I had 632 on mine, right? So it's just the fund that you looked at the time. In the same way, well, the prices of a company are not going to change. The prices of funds will change depending on the management, what companies are in it, and how many people buy that fund. That's why it's a different price, okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it actually says 17. That's why I was like, $17.
Tell me the, hold on.
I'm a screenshot and send it to you.
No, no, you don't have to do me. Hold on, let's see if I can do this quick. Tell me the fund. Give me, oh my God, I got to
It's
do this.
SWPPX.
Come on. Uh, SWPPX. Schwab 500 index, right. $17.75. That's what that fund costs right now. Absolutely.
Okay.
Give me a chart. I don't know why I'm doing this. Put it on a year. 1 second. So that, and I don't know how old that fund is either. That fund that she's speaking of at one point was as low as $12.79 and has been as high as $17.86. The fund that I think I used when I did this, I'm not going to mention it because I don't want you running out to buy it. That's what I did. Um, I'll mention it. I don't care. It's not, I'm not telling anyone to buy this. I'm just mentioning the name of a fund that I showed you earlier. It's called, it's the Vanguard S&P 500 VOO. If you look up VOO, you're going to see that VOO is at $634.84. When I looked at this the other day, it was 632. Right now it's $634.84. Again, it depends on the fund, how much money goes into that fund, and what the price of that stock is for that fund. That's the only difference, okay? All right. So let me get back to this here. I want you guys to understand how your money grows. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I can cover it in the next slide too. Uh, Sophia just brought up a fund that she found that I think I said was $12 at the low and 17 at the high. So the fund that I mentioned to you earlier this year was as low as $442. Okay. Right now, that not right now. Well, right now it's 634, but it's been as high as 636. That's part of the way stocks make money. All right. So I said stock prices and they increase over time. You can buy something. Actually, I got a good example coming up. You can buy something that say it was $100. No, I'm gonna use this example. If you had bought this fund, it was $432, right? Right now, it's 634, right? That's called capital appreciation. That means the capital, the money you put in when it was $400, that joker now $600. The difference is about $200. That difference is your gain, right? Okay. And that's with one share. If you own multiple shares, you get a whole lot more money. Okay. So money grows through capital appreciation, which is when stock prices increase over time. I want you guys to watch what I just did when they move up over time. Okay. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Another way that your money grows is by dividends. I mentioned that to you earlier. If you guys remember the game Monopoly, Monopoly ain't no game. Monopoly teaches you how to invest. Okay. there was a card in there that it was a chance card. It used to say the bank pays you dividends. Okay, so that is for large companies that are mature companies and they've been long standing, right? So when they decide, oh, we didn't pay for everything, we got a little extra money. Tell you what, we're gonna pay our shareholders. We're gonna pay them dividends. The bank paid you dividends. That's what the card said. But really, it is the companies pay you dividends. Most companies, if they pay a dividend, pay every 3 months. They pay quarterly. Okay. And some companies will pay monthly. While I'm sitting here talking to you, somebody put my name on a check, okay, to send me a dividend check. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right. Now, that is how your money can grow. Now, say you bought you can do three things with dividends. I'm going too far here. You can do three things with dividends, right? So you can ask for them to send you the money. Thank you. You can say, "Don't send me the money. I want you to buy me more shares of that company." Or you can say, "Don't send me the money. I don't want you to don't send me more shares of this company. I mean, I want you to buy me shares of this company, the one I don't own." Right? If you guys ever hear anybody say, oh, I'm gonna pay for my daughter's wedding, or I'm gonna give them a down payment on the house, or I'm gonna buy them a car. A lot of times, those people have so much money they got everything they need, but they're getting dividend checks in that are so large that they just here. That's for you. That's for you. Get out of my face. This for you. Go ahead. Right? I'm in groups with people that make 100, 200,000 dollars a month in dividends because that's how much stock they own, right? Where's the risk in owning stock? Ain't no risk, right? A lot of times people have those large dividend checks coming in. And so if you tell that the company, don't send me the money, buy me some more shares. So if you started with 100, right? And in 3 months, they send you, here go two more. Now you got 102. And in 3 more months, they send you three more. Now you got 105. Okay? That is how you build your money. That is how you grow your wealth. That is how you build your portfolio. Okay? By reinvesting your dividends. If you guys have the opportunity in whatever you're holding now, if those people are sending you little baby checks, them little baby checks turn into little big checks later on. Allow that to grow your wealth. All right. The next thing, the way money grows is through compound interest, right? Um, that is when interest works for you. And that's when your money is making money. Not the money that you invested. The money that they gave you starts making money. Your money just making money. All right. That is how you grow your wealth. It is not just from running up to a job every 2 weeks and saying, do this, that, and the third, right? Or doing what they tell you to do, right? Because again, that can run out, but what ain't gonna run out. If I don't ever sell my shares, them people are gonna keep sending me checks. And I appreciate them for it. I really do. All right. So I want this to be something for you as well. These are the reasons, these are the things that will allow you to put yourself in a position where you're not worried about what happens for yourself going forward. I'm froze up. Something happened. 1 minute. Give me a minute here. What's going on? Can you guys still see me? Am I okay here? Can somebody let me know in the chat if I am still here? Okay, that's still going. I'm stuck. I don't know why. 1 second. Okay. That went too far. Hang on, need to go back. All right. So I just told you how money grows. I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about with some of these companies. So this is the S&P 500 index. This is what I was speaking about. If you guys saw me earlier, I did this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do this. Let me tell you how the market moves. The market goes up, it pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up. You see what I did? Up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up. I'm going that way. I'm going up and to the right. That is how the market moves, right? I'm gonna lose all my money. No, you're not. Let me tell you why. This is the S&P 500. I am really old, so I have this, I think back to 1980. From 1980 until now, this is what the stock market has done. I told you, it goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back, up, pulls back. What's it doing? It's going up and to the right. You see this big drop right here? That is COVID, right? And it took 2 weeks to recover from COVID, right? So even if you had bought back here, it don't matter if it pulled back here. You're still up. It goes up, pulls back. That's what it does, y'all. There's always going to be pullbacks in the market. But you see, again, this is from 1980. 1980, that's 45 years. That's what the market does. Some of you guys aren't even 45 years old, but money has continually been made over that time. That is how you grow your wealth. I talked about Apple, all right? Apple at one point in time, and pardon me, all right, there you go, Laurel. Um, Apple at one point in time was as low as this looks like I can't see that. Anyway, so let's just say Apple at one point in time. I know that this line right here, if you guys can see that, that is $50.
D,
Okay.
you supposed to be sharing your screen?
Y'all don't see that? Oh my God. Yes, I am. You don't see that?
I don't see it, but I might have clicked something. But do everybody? Oh, they see it. Okay, as long as they see it, that's cool. I just switched to the computer, so it's weird. This is a new computer. But go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry. They
Okay,
can
no
see it.
worries, no worries. Giovanna, what do you got? What's your question?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so I've got the SP, as I said, I got the SP 500 through my job. I
Hmm.
don't know I don't know what I'm putting into that though. So how do
Um,
I find that out? How do I find that out? And if I want to increase it, how do I find that out? I need to speak with somebody at Fidelity.
those are all the good things. You can probably do it on your portal, right?
Okay, okay,
Um, So you first of all, you need to understand what your plan does.
okay,
Again, just so you guys know, I work with people individually. And I would suggest if you if you really don't know what you're doing with your, and I'm not saying you, Giovanna, I'm saying in general,
well, I
a
do.
lot of people do not understand what's happening in their 401ks, 403bs, and they tend to underperform for years before they
Right,
decide
right.
to do something. And when I say underperform, they could be at six, making 6%, 7%, 10%. If you're making 10%, that means you're meeting the average. However, if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're looking at and the options that you have in your plan, you could be making 19, 30, 25% for years
Mm-hmm,
versus
mm-hmm,
making 6 and 7%. So you
mm-hmm,
always want your money working harder than you
mm-hmm,
ever gonna work for your money.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So now with you need to understand what your company does,
Okay.
what it does. Does it match you? Um, what percentage does it match you? Tell me that. I'm sorry, do they match?
It's
That's
six.
the first
Uh-huh.
question.
Yes, they do. They do have a company match at 6%.
6%. So no,
Uh-huh.
that's two questions. So one, that means they match up to 6% of your salary,
Mm-hmm.
right? They match up to 6% of your salary, but at what percentage do they match?
Uh, I'm not sure I understand the question. What do you mean?
Right. So with the company that I used to work for, I used to work for AT&T. They
Uh-huh.
matched me at up to 6% of my salary. They gave
Uh-huh.
me 80%. So if I laid down $100, they laid down $80 for me. So
Gotcha.
that was an 80% match. So I'm asking you, what
Mm.
percentage are they matching? They'll do it up to 6% of your salary, but
Mm-hmm.
are they giving you a 50% match, 80%, or 100% match?
That's a good question. I don't know, sweetheart.
Okay, so you need to call them. I can't tell you. Actually, you can do it on your in your portal. You can find it
Okay.
in there, or you could just
Okay.
call HR or call whoever your administrator is and say, "Well, how much
Mm-hmm.
y'all matching me?" Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's
Mm-hmm.
the first thing. And then the other thing is you want to make sure that you are maximizing, uh, yeah, that you are in the best funds possible and that they are performing the way you want. You want to get the
Mhm.
return, the best return, I say.
Mhm.
I want my
Mhm.
money growing. Okay.
Mhm.
So, I'm sorry, was that your only question?
Mhm. So yeah, when I look at that, I see the increase like earlier in the year. When I first did it, it's now at like in the double digits. Um, and so I see the increase, but I don't know if all of that belongs to me or is that the company. I don't understand any of that really.
Well, you need to.
Am I making sense? Okay.
Yes, I want you to get
Okay.
to know your plan much better. So one
Okay.
of the
Okay.
things that I did not answer is you asked me, I just heard it and now I forgot. Oh God. Yeah, you said you didn't know how much you were putting in there. So you
Right.
need to know also, remember I told you that they'll match up to 6% of your salary. But that
Uh-huh.
doesn't, I don't know how much you're contributing. You know, need to know
Gotcha.
what's your contribution. Are you putting in 3%, 4%? Are
Okay.
you putting
Okay.
in 8%, 10%? I don't know what that is. You told
Uh-huh.
them what that is. So I have
Uh-huh.
no idea.
I think
You
I did 7 or 8. I think I did 7 or 8 on
okay,
top
that's
of
great.
the 6. Yeah.
Can be great. Let me say this. So if you are you're putting all your money into a retirement account, meaning
Mm-hmm.
you're not supposed to touch your money until after 59 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But remember, most companies do up to 6% of your salary, and you said you're doing 7 or 8%. So
Mm-hmm.
that 2% extra that you're putting in, you're putting it into an account that you ain't supposed to touch until you retire. I'm not telling you not to do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that there's a chance that you could put that money somewhere else where you can choose outside of your company's retirement funds. You could choose something different in another brokerage, and you could possibly touch that money depending on what kind of account you're putting it in. The other thing is sometimes people don't have great options within their retirement account. This is especially true for people. And again, I'm sorry, guys, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Generally, 403Bs are not they're not regulated very well at all, and they tend to have a lot of insurance products in them. So quite often people are put into funds that have high fees that don't perform well. And again, that is something that I think you guys need to take a look at and
Mm-hmm.
not wait until you 5 years away from retirement to decide I'm gonna look at my retirement account.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be doing that now so that your money is
Okay,
working
ya
harder for
terminaste.
you.
Okay, cuando you coming from Alex,
Okay.
Oh, over the, so that your money is working harder for you over the years. Okay. Um, you do this sooner rather than later so that you know your money is doing what it need to be doing. All right. And I got two more hands. Does that answer you, Giovanna?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
welcome.
I just got some research to do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. It's there. It's there for you. And so I just did something. I don't know where it is. All right, so I got a lot of stuff open, guys. Someone else, either one or two people had their hand up, and so whoever the other person is, could you please let me know who you are and come off a mute and ask your question, please. Mm, okay. All right. I guess
Yeah, one
nobody
of them
else.
was yours and the other one was Javana's. So
Okay. Thank you. Keep me right. Keep me right. All right. All right. So let's go back to Apple, right? Why is that in the way? 1 second. Let me move something. It's here. Move this. There we go. All right. So we're looking at Apple. Again, I told you companies move. The price of stocks moves up, goes back, pulls up, goes back, pulls up, goes back. It goes up, basically. All right. This is Apple. Imagine if you had bought Apple. You don't even have to go back too far. Just going back as far as 2020. Right here, the price of this stock was, this is about in the middle. So this was like $75. Right now, Apple is at $278, right? And that's because of people that buy Apple products. You push the price of the stock up, right? You're helping to build that company, right? The difference between 278 and even if I went back as far as 2015, 2015, price of this stock was about $30. That's for one share. One share right now is 278. That's a difference of $240. Imagine if you had 100 shares or 10 shares or 2,000 shares or whatever the case. That's how you build your wealth, by owning good companies or owning the funds that have good companies in them. All right. All right, I'm off track. I'm catch up, guys. I'm sorry. So now, how much do you need to start? You don't need a lot. I told you, $222 a week is what I made when I started, right? And I was 19 as a kid putting money in, right? And over time, I just started putting more money in. When I saw what was happening, I my let me tell you how I started investing. My union steward, again, I was a 411 operator. She came over, she put a card down and said, sign that. I said, what is it? She said, sign it. What is it? Sign it. Oh, God. I signed the thing. And she said, you're in the 401k, and started taking money out of my check. I was making $222 a week, but she had them take money out of my check. And I was mad about it until a couple of weeks. I said, oh, okay, I put a little money up. Whatever. Cool. I wait another couple of weeks. I said, well, wait a minute. I ain't put that much money in. And I was like, my money's growing? Yes. Why? Because you're investing. And when I started to see what my money was doing, well, now I'm going to put money in it. I'm going to put some more money in it now. Okay. And as I moved on in my career and started making more money, I started putting more money in there. Giovanna just told me that she's possibly putting 7 to 8% in. At one point in time, I was probably putting 20% into investment accounts, right? So I would get the match, and I'm this free game right now, you guys. If you're not doing anything else, if your company has a plan, a retirement plan, at least put in what they will match up to, right? Because that's free money otherwise. If they
Babe, can
don't
you call
match it,
mommy? She's calling me, but I'm in the Zoom class.
whoever somebody's calling and in the Zoom class, can you mute yourself unless you want to ask a question? All right. So now, oh my God, what was I saying? Somebody tell me. No, I know where I was. Okay. So if you have a company that will match up until a certain amount, at least put that in there and get the free money that they are going to match you with, at the very least, right? So you don't have to, and if you work for a company that does not have a retirement account, you don't have to do it there, right? If retirement ain't even your goal, you can have an outside brokerage account. You can have a cash account where you're putting money in, which is what I'm telling you now, right? To grow your own money, and you have access to the funds that are out here to be invested in, and the companies. All right. So if you can mess around and find $25 or $50 or 100 or 200, whatever it is, put that money in, even if it's $5 or $3, because $3 this week is going to be $6 next week, going to be 9, going to be 12, right? Continue to put money in until you start seeing your money make money for you. All right. So you do not need a lot of money. That's the main thing I want you to understand. You don't need a lot of money to invest. What you need is to be disciplined enough to do it, right? That person I mentioned to you yesterday that looked at how much money they had been eating up. I told them, get the money out of your sight. Have that money sent away from you before you even get to it, right? That is how you pay yourself first. If you have money right now, if you're in a retirement account, if you have a retirement account and you're contributing to it, you're putting away money before you can even get to it and decide, I want to go get some shrimp and grits, or I want to go get my nails done, my hair done. If you think you don't have enough money to do it, I want you to start to look at your habits. You probably do. Now, I get that some people just don't have the money to do it, but what I also understand is sometimes it's what we're doing with our money. All right. So maybe you can have one less Uber Eats or DoorDash, right? Maybe you ain't got to run out to Target or Walmart every week, right? Or Amazon packages coming to your door every doggone day. I know people doing this. Again, I work with people, so I see where the money going. They may not understand where the money is going before they get to me, but once you leave me, you understand exactly where your money is. That, sorry, that person last night, I'm pointing over there because he was sitting over there when I was at dinner last night. Um, he knew he ate out a lot, and he told me. He said, my problem is I eat out a lot," and I told him to look it up. He didn't know it was $885 worth, right? And once he saw that, he got quiet. And you will mentally decide, I don't want my money just going in my mouth and coming out my butt later on. I don't want my money just going to little things that I bought at Amazon that's now sitting in the corner somewhere. I don't want my money going, and I'm not telling you not to enjoy yourself. I'm not telling you not to, I'm not trying to take the joy and fun out of life. I want you to enjoy yourself, but I want you to consider, how much are you going to enjoy yourself when you ain't got no money to take care of basics? When somebody mess around and break their arm, right? Or you need a new refrigerator, a new dryer, right? I want you to be able to take care of those things because you've been putting away money for yourself, all right? So now find it by going through what you're already doing right now and deciding if that money can be used differently. When you see that either $885 can be a whole bunch of food that you done ate and you don't even remember all the meals, right? Or you can own Apple, or you can own Home Depot, or you can own all of those companies, right? When you see that your money can make money, remember I just showed you an example of, at one point in time, Apple was $50 and less, and now it's $278. That $885 will buy, well, 3.5 shares of Apple right now, right? And that's for 1 month. Remember, I told you he showed me $700 and $1,100, and all that was spent on food. When you could be having, you could have ownership in some of these companies and having them send you money and watch your money grow versus trying to figure out, now, what did I eat 2 weeks ago that I spent that much money on, right? I want you to know where your money is going and know that your money is working for you, right? Um, Hang in. You can get rid of some of these subscriptions. We don't need all these doggone movie channels, right? Or whatever you got a subscription to. Do you need all of them? Figure out something that you can cut. Maybe you don't go get your nails done every week, right? Give your nail beds a chance to breathe, right? Whatever that money was that you saved on your nails for this week, put it in your fund, right? Maybe you don't go get your hair done every week. Maybe you don't go buy the latest purse or the nice shoes. Them shoes hurt your feet, okay? Maybe you don't have to get all those pairs of shoes, right? But maybe you own the company that makes them, right? Consider doing something like that so that you have ownership in something that is paying you or that can take care of you. Because I promise you that purse ain't going to be able to take care of you. It's not going to provide you shelter. It's not going to provide you food. But owning the company that made it will do just that. All right. Again, this is not to take fun away from things. I don't want you not doing things. I just want you to take some of your money and make it work for you. Right. So you now understand what investing is and why you want to do it, right? What you don't have is where to open up your account. We talked a little bit about brokerage accounts, but there's nuances and there's a bunch of brokerage accounts. So figuring out that, right? I gave you a good hint about it, okay? What you don't know is how to open that account, or what to invest in once you do have the account, or how to hit the button, because a lot of people get stuck there. They say, okay, I want to invest, I want to do this, and then they don't do anything. It's the inaction that messes you up. It's the not following through that will mess you up. I want you to be able to hit the button, buy the thing, and then continue buying the thing by automating it, right? Again, I told you, I want you to pay yourself first, but I'm taking that money out before you even get to it. Where the money? In my account. And you get to see it grow. And at some point, you get to use it, right? So again, I can't tell you everything here. We've even had some questions. There's a lot more questions that I'm sure you guys have. If you have more, we can go through some of that. But what I want you to do is to consider buying the course, right? You guys are here. I appreciate you being here, right? I appreciate you taking the time to do this. This is free today, right? I just gave you a little bit of why you would want to do this. But my God, it gets better than this, right? I have a course. I just came up with this course just for you guys, all right? It is $67 normally. Today, since you're here, you can get it for $57. And let me tell you something. I told you that I work with people. If any of you guys go to my website, it's Brown Girls Invest, the number 2.com. You can't talk to me for less than $300 individually. You can't do it, right? However, you can get hand holding through a course. We'll do another it's not gonna be it'll be a workshop is what it'll be. All right, where we actually take the time to buy in that course. And if you don't buy in that class that day, you'll buy sometime that night or the next day. Because I want you to get yourself invested immediately. Ashley went away. I thought she was gone. She had asked a question earlier. Welcome back, Ashley. I thought you had a question earlier or something I addressed. I didn't know you weren't here, but if you can remember whatever that question was, go ahead and ask it again, and I'll answer it for you. I'm not sure if you were here or not. I just know I just let you back in here. All right. So in the workshop, we are going to do step by step, go through setting up a brokerage account, right? And you're going to actually open up your brokerage account and place your first trade to buy something, okay? And I'm going to show you how to purchase your first ETF. I mentioned this will be your first investment. Again, you can buy whatever you want. It's up to you, but I think newer investors should buy funds so that they have exposure to some of the best companies without having to buy those individual companies, okay? And I'm going to show you how to automate your investment. So we're going to figure out how much money you have to invest, and then we're going to set it up. Let it go. And every week, every 2 weeks, whatever you decide, your $10, your $25, your $50 is going to go toward buying that thing, okay? And then we're going to set up a 90-day investment plan for you to continue doing that. This time, say in another 6 months. Remember, I told that guy to tell me how much he had been spending on eating out. And the money he had been using to eat out, when I did just a basic 10% gain, it was $8,000. Now, again, that's what me using the $600 is how much he could do, but you decide how much you can put aside. And whatever that amount is I promise you going to be more going forward, all right? I mentioned the administration is very friendly toward big business. They are about to let companies go wild in this coming year. And I don't want you looking at somebody else and saying, well, they got a lot of money. How'd they get the money? All of them didn't get the money because it got passed down to them. Some of them got it because they invested their money. And I want you guys to be able to do that too. I think, do I have something here? I got too much open. That's pretty much all I've got here. Is there anyone here that has a basic question that we can talk about, or that is interested in that workshop. And I'm gonna go through the questions to see if I have anything here that I need to answer. If you've got a question, you can come off.
I got like a little two-part question.
All right.
So when investing in the index funds, um say for example, the one that you said was like 600, do you have to put the full 600 in there, or can you put pieces of money into that? And then also my second part of that question
Can
is,
you stop? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got distracted by something that came up. I heard something about $600 and a piece. Can you ask that again for me? I'm sorry.
okay, so like I was just using the one that you showed us, VU, for example. If
Yes.
it's like 600 to purchase it, can you put portions of money, or you have to use the whole 600 in order to get that?
No, you
And
can do
then
portions.
portions, okay. And
All
then
right.
once you
Hold
do
on. Let
say
me tell you something. I'm sorry. Give me the second part. Give me the second part.
the second part is, once I do that, say I do the full 600, that only gives me access to portions of the stocks inside, or how many shares would I have of them?
All
Does
right.
it give me one of each?
No, my God, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
No.
just wondering.
It's cool. It's cool. So the first part was if you had $600, or I'm sorry, if you didn't have $600. So say you found $25 that you can put away every week or every 2 weeks or whatever you decided you're going to do. And you're trying to buy a fund that costs $632, right? So what happens is you say, buy me that fund. Here's $25. I'm old school. I don't know if you guys ever. I'm from the Chicago, so my parents would send me to the corner store and say, go buy me $5 worth of bologna or $5 worth of salami. What you're doing is you're buying fractional shares. If you have Schwab, they call it slices. Okay. Um, fractional shares is exactly what it sounds like. So here's a share of stock, just one share, right? And so it costs $600. Well, I don't have $600. I have 25. So they say, okay, you don't get a full share. You get whatever that $25 would buy. So you would have 0.27 percentage points of one share, right? And so you got that 25 and 25 and 25 and 25 until you can buy that full share, right? When you buy that full share of stock that is worth $600 is when you own a full share. Until then, you own a fractional share of that fund, or you own a slice of that fund. Now, the second part was, do you own parts? Do you own parts of the company? Remember, that fund has all of those companies in it, right? So you are part ownership of, you have part ownership of everything in that fund until you have um, one full share.
Until you pay the 600, or until you pay the 3,000?
What? Did I miss 3,000? Where did that
Well,
come
my
from?
bad. Okay, forget the 3,000. So it's 600 something. If I pay the 600 right now, that means I have one full share of
Yes.
all those companies?
Okay. So, um, okay, the fund owns all of those companies. All of those companies are in that fund. Okay.
Right.
Right. So you have exposure, you have part ownership in every company in that fund,
Oh, okay.
right?
Got it.
Because remember, there's some companies, I think it was Facebook. Facebook is a $600 company, right?
Right, right.
Apple is a $278 company, right? Per share, right? I can't remember the others, but all of that stuff added up to 38. That's where you got the 3,000 from.
Yeah, that's where I
All
got it.
of those, all of the if I here's the difference. If I decided I'm gonna buy one share of every one of those, the top 10 companies, every one of those companies, I would have to pay $3,800 just to own one share of each of those companies. However, if I buy the fund and all of those companies are in that fund, All I got to do is pay $600, and I have exposure or a little piece of every one of those
Oh,
companies in the fund.
okay. And then you can still go back and put more into each individual one if you want to.
When you say individual one, what are you
So, for
saying right now?
example, I bought the whole fund, they're all in there. But if I want to put a little bit more into Apple, I can go and invest a little bit more into Apple shares and get like the full Apple share.
Yeah, but you got to do them individually. One thing has the fund with all those companies in it. You
Uh-huh.
can't take your money to them and say, I want to buy that fund, but I want you to buy me a little more Apple in
No,
there.
no,
You
no. I
can't
mean
do that.
individually. I do mean individually.
Individually, yes, individually,
Okay.
you can buy Apple. Okay.
Okay.
So I told you guys earlier, I own shares of individual companies and I own shares of funds that have those companies in it. Is that clear? Is that a little
Got
more?
it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Anybody else? All right.
Hey D, let's get on that link. They asking for the link.
Okay.
Now, is the workshop in the course, or do you have a link to the workshop within itself?
Is the workshop in the course or?
What was the $56? Because that's what they're looking for that you said.
All right. That is the workshop that we will do.
Yes. So
Yes.
let's drop them that link so they'll be
Okay.
inside of the workshop.
Control
So we're
V.
getting that to y'all now.
All right. Now, that's a public link, right? And so that course is normally 67. I have it in here for 57 for you guys, but I promise you that Joker going back to 67 on Sunday. Okay.
That's how I
So
like
I'm sorry, you guys. Again, I know what I do for people. People don't understand when I say people. Some people will ask, "Well, how much is it?" And then I tell them, and then they go, "Well, that's if you get to telling me how much is too much for you, I'm not who you need. Okay. I understand how much money I'm about to make you, and I charge accordingly. Right. And that's for working with me individually. Again, you can't work with me, you can't talk to me for less than $300, and I will be working with you for a $57 price right now. And when I say working with you, working with the group, it ain't gonna be no individual, right? We're gonna work as a group together to do this. All right. Workshop and class are two different things.
I told her, no, it's the same thing.
Right. Yes, I do have a course as well. That course is $197, but that is me. What is that course? That course is 21 days to fearless investing. That's also on my beacons thing. Some of you guys have gone through it. Some of you guys actually here have worked with me individually as well. So that's what I got right now for you guys. Are there any other questions that we can answer very quickly? I know I've kept you guys a long time and kind of went at this a bit. So I hope that
No,
you
this was
guys
good.
got something out of it. And I hope that you make your money grow for you and do something different because the government ain't going to save you. They're not going to do it. Okay.
Mhm.
So
So
there
for the
you go.
workshop, Jamia, is that what you're asking? So the workshop link she just dropped. No to her
Okay.
site.
Just her site, just so we can like read more about her or like if we wanted to do a one-on-one or something, like I just wanna.
There
Right.
you go.
So it's
Thank
browngirlsinvest2.com. Um,
thank you.
you're welcome. And the individual, hang on, can I get it real quick? Um, now again, I'm not saying this to drum up business for myself. I am saying this because I'm looking at people every day have trouble with being able to take care of themselves later. Again, I mentioned quite a few people, Control C, quite a few people don't look at their retirement accounts or don't do anything toward, I'm gonna get you in a minute, Laurel. Don't do anything toward saving for themselves, or they just it's in there and they just let it ride, right? Don't just let nothing ride. You always check to see that you are performing as best as possible because too many people get toward a few years of being able to retire or a few years of being able to do whatever it is they want to do, and they find out they've been underperforming for a long time when they could have been making a lot more money if they had just made a few changes. All right, Laurel, what you got?
I was asking for the workshop, is it already a date on the workshop yet?
Already a date?
Yeah,
Date.
like a
Oh,
time
a
and
date,
date.
a date, a date. No, no, I don't have a date yet. It's going to depend on how many people end up in the group and what's going to work best, right? I am, I got to be careful with this one. I am considering also um, making it available afterward. I'm a little leery on that just because of depending on what type of information comes out, people's personal information comes out. I don't want people's personal information out there. The other thing is I don't want people just out there sharing it to the world. I just don't. So, yeah.
And I know I was late, but did you go over REITs or
I did not. I did REITs are she's saying REITs. That is Real Estate Investment Trust. I did not go over REITs. What REITs are a fund. Those are a type of fund that you can invest in as well. And what it has in it is real estate. It gives you access to owning real estate. Or I'm sorry, owning funds that have real estate in it. Now, just to give you a little bit about REITs are required to pay back 90% of their profits. So I talked to you guys about dividends earlier. REITs have to pay out
right?
a dividend, right? And
So
they
is that a good thing to invest in like now with this as well, or would someone like wait until they're more advanced?
well,
Mainly
um,
for me, but
you, I'm gonna be careful about what I'm saying because all right, let me tell you guys something. So I mentioned to you that earlier I said that I invest in real estate, but I invest in hard real estate. I've owned property for 29 years, right? Uh, 20, yeah, 29 years, okay? And that properties, most of it was in Chicago because that's where I lived. Some of it is in Atlanta. Um, Real estate at some points have been hit a little harder, right? You remember housing crashes, stuff like that. You have to make an assessment about where you think real estate is going. Now, real estate can be something that you invest in. I am just not so sure that that's the best place to be. Now, I'll give you an example of what some REITs own. They don't own just like houses, individual houses. Like if you go to Las Vegas, all of them doggone casinos on the strip, a lot of those are in something called a REIT. It is owned within a fund, right? Now, I want you to tell me what do you think happened um, with Las Vegas during the pandemic, and what happened with Las Vegas last year? I can't remember why they weren't there last year. Y'all do know that a lot of those casinos were empty, right? And it's not just casinos, right? It could be like public storages, any like Walmart's, Home Depots. A lot of those are not on. Home Depot don't just own those buildings, right? AT&T don't own all their buildings. Those buildings are held by companies in REITs. They lost money, right? So Laurel, do you know, huh, do you tell me, do you think employment is going up or down? I'm sorry, unemployment. Is unemployment going up or down right now?
uh,
Unemployment is going up. You sure that's your answer? Don't I'm not asking you to change it. I'm just want you to listen to what I said. Is unemployment going up?
yes.
Yes, it is. All right. So that means people are losing their jobs, right? If people are losing their jobs, I'm not so sure they're going to be able to pay their mortgages. Unemployment is going up, so they've lost money, right? So are they going to be able to pay for the condos, the townhomes, the mortgages that they have? There's a good chance they may not. There's a good chance they may not be able to pay for a lot of stuff. I mean, now I'm not going to ask you this. I'm going to tell you this. Consumer debt is going up, right? People owe more money right now. If you owe more money, people are losing jobs, right? And things are costing more. I'm not so sure that real estate is the best place to have your money right now. I'm going to tell you something else. Jerome Powell is the Fed chairman. He will not be the Fed chairman next year in June because the administration is looking for someone else, right? The Fed just lowered interest rates. The reason they lowered interest rates was so that you guys have more money in your pocket to go out and spend to get the economy moving forward, right? I'm not so sure that real estate is the best place to have your money. You can obviously do what you want. I'm just telling you some things that are happening in the larger economy that you should consider. One more thing. I just sold one of my properties. What is this? December? I sold that thing in November, and I'm glad I was able to do it because I wanted to get it done quickly so that I didn't get stuck with that property longer than I wanted to be with it. Up to you what you decide to do, though.
I say go stock. Go you this, but this is so good that you say that, D, because this, y'all, is like what we talk about with doing your research, and not just in stock, but if you're in business, the combination of and why D is the first unique one of these is because they go right there together. They literally go hand in hand, because what y'all got to understand, as you are in business, which is connected to social media, you can see trends a little faster. Do everybody understand that? Like we know, put it like this, there are rooms I go in where I tell them how we would say it in one world is what's happening in the streets. So I know who losing their jobs before corporate people know who losing their jobs, because they are in the corporate world and they may only know, well, we ain't cut people, Swab and them ain't cut people. Yeah, but I know a whole call center worth of people, because we know where people are coming at, where they're trying to accumulate more money. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So even like in what D just said about the real estate, because my ear is quote unquote to the streets, I know that a lot of people are trying to consolidate and move together. People are moving on properties together. These more multi-unit type situations are coming to where, in other words, really large apartments with more bedrooms in them. Like in the future, y'all are going to literally see 4 and 5 bedroom apartments. Why? Because more people go say, hey, when your kid turn 18, 19, ain't no moving out. Because to tell a person to start from zero, go make money and live in the next 5 years, that's going to be a challenge. You get what I'm saying? Which is why y'all have to make sure that you understand too. You can't be a person that says it's no money in the streets, because guess what? The bigger side of the economy, the 1%, is go always, just like she said, work with the administration to say, we need some money out there in the streets. Because we need them to spend money so we can keep getting money. Give millions of people money. The thousands of us make more money because we have more ownership, which is also because you got to understand there's big business problems too, which is why you see consolidations. You get what I'm saying? We never knew we would live in a world where we would take the biggest of the companies and they would be combining. Y'all, Netflix and Paramount is having an all-out showdown right now for Warner Brothers. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about it's an all-out showdown. Disney, in the last couple of years have been doing it because Disney had already accumulated Hulu. They got their deal with Marvel. You get what I'm saying? Discovery. Listen, I truly feel like they finna make a break some in a minute because guess what? They got something that they need. Universal is making some plays because they opening up like resorts and stuff. So as you see where these companies are going, you don't, the biggest tip I can give y'all is don't think, oh, so big right now or try to figure out day level. You need to understand what day moves mean. And when it comes to a stock or like what D is saying, am I putting a stock option in there? Does that make sense? If a big company finna make a move, and as I study, as I work with D, and as she teaches us, hey, this company's stock is gonna go up because of this move they made. That's where you go invest in, because that's what investment. That's what you're looking for. Now, on the other end of that, this is why it is so important for so many of y'all to be building your business, because you are now, like, y'all gotta understand, personal brands are going to be bigger leaders in consumer dollars than big companies because there's only going to be so many. But you can accumulate 1,000 customers. You can accumulate 5,000 customers. Y'all have seen it. I have shown it to y'all. You get what I'm saying? So on your end, you got to say, I have this simple thing that I do. D does investment. I do content marketing sales. Jamia does travel. Chris does confidence. As you're getting your share from the consumer market, why not say, if I'm getting my share from the consumer market, let me make sure I'm taking this money and putting it into these stocks. Ain't got to be all of it, just like she just told us. Like, I love that with the funds. I said, oh, that's the way to go. That's just the smartest way to start. I ain't got to try to research everything, look at everything. I can do it in my fund. You get what I'm saying? $600, I can do it in my fund. Some of y'all, this is what I want you to understand. If you keep doing what we telling you to, that's one sale of what you sell. For some of y'all, that's 3 sales. Some of y'all, that's 6 sales of what you sell. This is what I want you to think about. 6 sales of what you sell can get you into a stock fund. Imagine if you're doing that every month. That's all I want you to see. You get 30 sales a month. Take 6 of them. I put it into my stock fund. This is when, and this is why I tell y'all, follow the plan. You got to come off the dreaming, what we talked about last night. Come off the dreaming couch of wishing and get in here while it's early. Because I guarantee y'all, ain't nobody talking about this right now. They selling back dreams. They listen, listen. Listen. Where we telling you how to get your money now, you have D. So I want to make sure, I'm gonna put that link in here again, that she has. Make sure y'all get inside of that workshop. Make sure you're checking your emails. When you get your confirmation email, make sure you open it, because this what lets you be able to see it. You get what I'm saying? This way you should be able to make sure you see those emails for that date. Make sure y'all are following her, indulging in her content, as I'm going to keep pushing her to produce more of it, to keep talking to the people. Because D, did you see today just how y'all put in the chat just how powerful this was for you, how much this helped you, how much it benefits you to have the information, especially in a small enough room. Like all the investment guys that I know of, the room too big, they're not detailed enough. But we have our very own person here that is powerful, professional. She does this. I ain't bring y'all somebody that got an ebook. They took a course and they got an ebook, and now they say, oh, I want to teach investing. Nah, we needed somebody who could really explain and break some of this stuff down. Because all them people I know, and I know a good couple of people, D, I ain't never heard about no fun. And I be asking questions. And that was so simple when you said it. I said, well, shoot, yeah. If you're getting started, it's the best way.
Yeah.
I said they be talking all type of stuff, but do you see that today, just how impactful this is for people who are already in business? All these people who ask questions today, these people accumulate money. Sophia, Chris, You get what I'm saying? Jamia, Dean, Laurel. So these people are, this is the new world y'all we're going into. I don't know if they're going to keep calling it entrepreneurship, but in the new world, majority of people who make money go be freelancers. They go be employees, even to do trash work in the city. It's coming. It's some cities already doing it. You can go sign up. You can go work for that day. That's how you get paid. You want to work tomorrow? Sign up to come back tomorrow. So you go choose what you want to do to get paid, because these folks don't want to pay your insurance no more. These folks don't want to have no HR for you no more. Listen, you fall out truck, hey, you're a freelancer. The contract says, I don't know you technically once you fill out that truck. But somebody else go be on it tomorrow, and we go pay them $200 to do it. So we are living in that world, okay? But D, do you just see that value that you bring and give today?
I do. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you don't let this die here, right? Whether you do it with me or not, you need to invest your money, because what's coming for us is not good. Insurance is going up, prices of things are going up, right? You need to put yourself in a position where your money can take care of you if anything happens. I'm gonna mention one other thing. There's life cycle of earning money. Okay, and it's made like a bell curve. And so when you get to about the 40 to 50-year-old range, some of you guys aren't there, but once you get to that range, you start to go down in your potential to earn money. So when that happens, if you cannot physically go out and do it, your money needs to be able to make money for you, to take care of yourself, to take care of your families, right? I'm looking at a lot of people that are losing their jobs, but some of these people have the money to float them because they've got investments and they've got savings. So put your money into action where it's making money for you, and you're not just spending with no return on that money. All right.
And you know what you just described, D? Freedom. What they
Come on.
register as financial freedom. Y'all real next level of financial freedom. All of us is where we working towards, is to where I can choose how I want to work my day. Not this imaginary stuff. But D has investments that take care of her. She chose to build Brown Girls Invest Too. That's the power, is that choice. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And your choice of, if my body doesn't feel like it's up to working today, do I still have something that's making me money? And I ain't got to be a run around here trying to, am I a millionaire? I told y'all, we are entering into the year of your first entrepreneurial request is, can you pay your bills? Can you live?
Mhm.
Can you live? We'll go up from there. But there's local services business you're going to have to do. And can you live? But guess what the problem with all of those are? Guess what you got to do? You got to get up and do it. You should be working to not have to get up and do it. What is the power? That's what wealth is. Money that's attached to your name. It ain't having a digital product. It ain't even having a business that ain't there yet. Are those part of it? Yeah. But we showing y'all the real pathway. This is where it starts. One of your first goals, and I'm gonna let y'all go. One of your first goals, y'all, because this is one of mine, is for your investments to be able to pay your life living for a year. At the end, go up from there. We already teach y'all in Beat Life how much it costs to be you. So if you know, okay, that's $5,000 a month times 12. Okay, I am as expensive at $60,000 a month. All of us deserve to know what it's like to not have to worry about paying bills month to month. That's in an account. Where did I get that money from? I played the same game that the people who know to play it played. I put money in. I made sure it was smart. You get what I'm saying? That money, listen. And if it's $60,000, you ain't got to instantly go pay that. Let me grind it out for 3 years. Grinding it out for 3 years may get me 5 years, 6 years, or even if it just gets me a second set of 3 years. 3 years where you ain't gonna take a year off, but if you want to take a year off, but imagine having the safety of I can go 3 months and just breathe. Maybe you sick, you need 3 months for your body just to heal. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you want to go live out the country for 3 months. That's what they do. She live in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get these passports. I gotta get mine. Cause I listen, I be thinking all the time. I be hearing y'all out of country people. Listen, it really only took one person to tell me, they said, you can run Beat Life from South Africa if you want. I said, yeah, you're right.
Let me jump in real quick. Y'all should get your passports sooner rather than later. They're doing a lot of things to stop people from being able to leave the country. So, and if there's an emergency and you need to go, you need to be able to go. You can't go nowhere without you can't leave the country without a passport. So
that's international law. Because when you leave one, you can't get into the other one without the passport.
that's right.
So listen. So we on it. Thank you so much, D. Thank y'all for joining. Make sure you guys are in that bootcamp class. Y'all will see D promoting it. You will see me sharing it when it's coming up to the time of that class as well. And y'all know what to keep doing from there. Keep working your business. Keep growing. That helps you make that extra money to be able to say, hey, I got money to invest. You get what I'm saying? And now we've showed y'all just that one other pathway for you to be able to get out there and help your money make money. Do me a favor. Hey, inside the camp, follow my Beat Like people, drop a testimony in there of how much y'all love this class, because we will be able to use those. And we'll see y'all on the flip side, all right? Beat life, y'all. Whatever you do, don't let life beat you.
Have a great